This rather unassuming bit of circuit board is the Raspberry Pi. It's a fully working computer that has captured the hearts of techies across the internet. It's got loftier ambitions though, as its makers want it to revolutionise the way that IT is taught in our schools. This is a more capable B model that costs just £35, not bad for a computer these days. You can see that the size of the Pi has been determined by the connections on the edges rather than the actual chips. The main chip is ARM based and includes 256 megabytes of memory. There are two USB sockets for connecting a mouse and keyboard, a network socket, HDMI and composite display outputs, audio out and an SD card slot. Now the SD card slot takes the place of a hard disk on a normal computer. Also worthy of note is this header of pins here on the top. These can be used to connect the Pi to external devices or simple electronic projects, including components such as LEDs. Power is supplied through a micro USB socket, so you can use an existing power supply. There are several operating systems for the Pi available on the Raspberry Pi website. Install them on the SD card, put the SD card into the Pi, connect the keyboard, mouse and power, and it starts right away. We've used the recommended Raspbian system, and you can see here that we got a proper desktop that will make sense to anyone who's used either Windows or Linux. So far so good, but what about this ambition of enthusing youngsters to start programming? Well, there are several programming apps on the Pi, the best for beginners being Scratch. You can find a full review of Scratch elsewhere on our website, but suffice it to say that it lets you create programs by dragging and dropping commands rather than having to type out endless lines of code. It's brilliant and one of the most exciting things I've seen for fostering budding programmers. Scratch does struggle ever so slightly from time to time on the Pi due to the low speed processor. It'll be much faster on a desktop computer, but it does work. So, despite a couple of limitations, you've probably realised that I really like the Raspberry Pi. It's cheap, it squeezes a whole system onto a tiny piece of circuit board and has plenty of tools that make programming both interesting and exciting. I'm not particularly worried about the lack of a case either. Making your own should be fun and entirely in keeping with the spirit in which the whole project is based. When our review sample goes back, I'll be buying one myself and expect to have a lot of fun with it.